What's up, everyone? I'm your spiritual gardener, here to plant seeds of consciousness in your garden. It's just your job to water them. And my shirt, by the way, it's a Capricorn, okay? Shout out to Zodiac Juiceology. You can find them on my page. Really good juices, and it's called Zodiac Juiceology. I mean, come on, how cool is that? Okay, so I want to talk about the full moon. We've got a full moon. Started yesterday, or this morning, Pacific time at about 3:45, I think 6:45 Eastern. But it was also in Scorpio yesterday, okay? So we felt this energy kind of building up yesterday into today. Don't be surprised if you had like any outbursts of anger or just complete sadness over the last 24 hours. I know just for myself, like my girlfriend and I went over to the lake. We got this big new floaty thing. It's like an island, and we were all excited to go on it, and we got out there. We're only out there for 30 minutes, and the box that came in, we didn't have much sunlight left, so I hid it in a hole, and was gonna come back to it because we only had so much sun time. So we paddled back, and we saw some people there. And those people were not happy about the box that was left. And I get that. We live in the mountains. We're very respectful about living here, and we don't like trash and whatnot. The wife was really nice, said her husband had almost tripped on it, which is weird because I hid it in a hole. But anyway. So, she was really pleasant. And then as soon as he came up and I was just telling him sorry, it was instantly like, you guys don't need to be doing that. I don't care this and that. And blah, 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 blah. And just... that's not cool, just going off. And I was like, we were here for 30 minutes. I was coming back to shore. We left the box because we need to load it, okay? Like back in the box. And I hid it so that no one would think it was trash. Like, not a big deal, you know what I mean? And the guy wanted to keep on griping, so it literally got to us saying like, F you. Like, oh, who you know up here? Oh, who do I know up here? Like, bringing out the freaking Scorpio gangster in me, you know what I mean? But it's like, because I've got Pluto and Mars here, so don't F with me, okay? Especially when Mars is sitting right now on my Pluto. I'm sorry, Moon is sitting right now on my Mars, okay? But, short story, we ended up squashing it. I sat there and his wife was so pleasant. I was like, I feel bad for your wife if that's how you talk to her, And I was like, she's too pretty for you anyway. Like, it was so petty, so petty. It really was. And then eventually I'm sitting there because we had to sit there and deflate this freaking huge island thing we got. So it took a while. And, I said sorry to them. I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. All love. Just left it at that. They were quiet. The guy walked away, came back up to me, and he was like, you know what, I'm sorry. He's like, he actually gave me a handshake. He's like, oh, I don't think we're supposed to do that. And we like did the, the dap, whatever. And of course, I've got my hand sanitizer. But, he came back and was like, I don't need to be arguing with girls. And, and I was like, it's all love, man. I was like, I get it. I have mad respect for living here too. I see trash all the time and I pick it up because it makes me angry. So I get it. You know what I mean? So it's all that kind of mood today. But I love that the Saturn is in Aquarius because it is bringing people together. And so is Gemini Venus and now North Node in Gemini. All of these aspects are really bringing people together right now. So that's a big plus coming from all of this crazy energy that we just left, okay? So I did my video a few days ago about the nodes changing. So the North Node's now in Gemini. So the next 18 months, we're going to be focusing on relationships, communication, making new connections, siblings, short distance travel, and things that Sagittarius represent, long distance travel, learning, teaching. Those kind of things are going to be on hold for 18 months. So we're going to see a lot of differences when this all comes about, okay? So lots going to change. But for the full moon, full moon's in Scorpio. It's opposing Mercury, okay? Mercury's our thoughts. It's our thought process. So it's also squaring Mars. So a full moon in Scorpio squaring Mars is like the ultimate, like, I'm pissed. You know what I mean? So gladly I was able to handle that situation, and it was fine. And, you know, I was the bigger person, and then we all were just kind of laughing about it. And, you know, this is the type of energy that can happen when we have planets opposing each other, because it's like a tug of war. Okay. So right now we've got Mercury, which is, you know, our minds, our thoughts, and our process, and that's sitting in Taurus. And Taurus wants comfort. Okay, Taurus is used to earning money. They're used to, you know, their values, their routines. And that's been stripped from them and all of us. You know what I mean? And it's Taurus's season. So, you know, that not being able to have those comforts that they're used to, it's obviously aggravating. And then now they've got the moon in Scorpio opposing them. So it's a tug of war with our emotions, okay? Now, our emotions in Scorpio are it's about understanding. It represents Pluto, so it's a lot of self-undoing. And we know things in our heart and in our intuition because we've got Venus making trines over to Neptune at this moment, okay? So in our hearts, we know that there are some things that we need to let go of, whether it be a job, it be a person, it be a substance, it be a workout routine that's not working out. You know what I mean? Like eating habits. There's something that has just been bubbling around us for quite some time that we know we need to release. And full moons are for release, okay? So if anything, manifest a prayer, say a prayer. You know, some people like to burn, write down stuff that they no longer want and burn it. You know what I mean? So that's something you can do. Just relax, embrace your feelings, you know, embrace them and feel them and understand them, but don't let them take over you. Like, I let them take over me a little at the lake today, okay? But I quickly was like, I can't. I just, you know, you got to be the bigger person sometimes. This guy's like 3 times my age, and I'm like, really, bro? Anyway, okay, so a full moon in Scorpio can bring a lot of feelings of unstableness, fearfulness, but Mercury and Taurus, you know, they want comfort. So it's like this battle right now going back and forth. So you really need to evaluate what's important in your life, what's concrete, what you want to keep around. Because this Scorpio is the last big full moon we're going to see here until these eclipses that come up. And that's going to be some deep energy, okay? Full moon and Scorpios also represent boundaries. So we need to have our set boundaries, and that's it. Like, nobody can cross those boundaries. We have to be comfortable with saying no. And we have to make those boundaries, because if not, we're depleting ourselves, you know? So it's very important. It's a choice between happiness or unhappiness. If you're not setting boundaries for yourself, people are walking all over you. What's fun about that? You know what I mean? Let's see here. Yeah, so this is definitely, it's all about releasing right now. So definitely, it's big on releasing. Now with the North Node in Gemini, we're going to have a lot more communications with people. We're going to be meeting tons of people, which seems funny because it's like, yeah, we're in quarantine, but we're going to be still making connections, okay? So this last 18 months of energy that we had with the North Node in Cancer, Cancer is comfort. Cancer is the home. Cancer is the love for the self. So, you know, we went through that energy for 18 months. And with that, we had the South Node in Capricorn. And Capricorn, okay, is hardcore. It's hardcore. And then we had all the big dog planets, all the mean ones. Scorpio, Mars, Pluto, go through. And then Jupiter came through to make it even bigger in the South Node. So I've got my little thing my girlfriend made me here. This is Saturn. And this is how Saturn feels after all of this energy has just gone through. It only has one eye now. So it's a little struggle. You know what I mean? So the good thing is we are moving into a lot lighter of energy now. But this is the last week before the big planets go retrograde, okay? So we're having Venus go retrograde, Jupiter's going retrograde, and Saturn's going retrograde. So this political stuff, it's going to be pretty big going on for the next 6 months again, okay? So I'm just going to warn you about that. You know, there's always hope because we do have Pluto there. Pluto is death and rebirth. And, you know, it can sound scary, but sometimes parts of you need to die to be rebirthed, and then it's a better cycle. So, you know, it's all in correlation. It all works out. Sunday, Saturn's going to start its retrograde, so it's going to leave Aquarius back into Capricorn, okay? And South Node's not there anymore, so it's going to feel a lot more restricted. It's going to... Because South Node represents things that we want to finish. And this was in the house that represents government and stuff like that. And we were trying to, like, get rid of certain ways of doing things. And now with the South Node not there, there's going to be some concrete decisions made within the government here pretty soon. And not sure if too many people are going to like them. But come December 21st, 2020, ironically, we are going to see Jupiter meet up with Pluto, and that causes some big events, especially when it comes to political. So we'll see what we have in store here. My best advice for you, release what's no longer good for you right now. We have some harsh planets going retrograde. You know, everyone freaks out about Mercury. Mercury goes every 88 days. It's not that big of a deal. Like, electronics fail sometimes. Like, communication isn't always there. And now we're going to be dealing with similar energy to that now that the North Node is in Gemini, okay? It's not going to be as crazy, but with these planets of Venus going retrograde, we're going to be looking at our relationships, what's important to us, what's valuable to us. And so these are all things that we really want to put into play. And the best thing I can say is now that we have the North Node in Gemini is we really just want to focus this energy on making new connections. This is going to help us reevaluate friendships, people, and tons of stuff that are no longer fitting for us. So this is the last week before stuff slows down, okay? And the slowing down is good because when a planet retrogrades, it looks like it's going backwards. It's not. It's just the perspective from Earth. Still going forward, but it gives us a time to slow down and take those planets internally, okay? So, I hope that's answers for some of you guys. If you've been feeling a little erratic today, believe me, you're not the only one, okay? And I just want to do a quick card pull. I'm just going to do one or two. For the energy that we're moving into here with this full moon in Scorpio, what is some advice that we can give everybody, and how can we keep this all good? And the card fell down, so let's see. And it's reversed in Taurus. All right, so Taurus, Uranus is in Taurus right now. Okay, so Uranus brings change to Earth, money, food, all of those things, okay? So we're going to feel a little restricted right now because Taurus, it's all their birthdays right now, okay? They're not getting to be out there and be these rebels that they want to be and have fun on their birthdays. They're all kind of constricted at this moment. We all are, honestly. We all are. What this says to me, though, is that we need to make sure to harness this Uranus energy, which is the rebellion sign, but it brings great change. We want to harness this for the best, okay? So it can represent the rebel, the bad guy, so-and-so, but if it's used right, you will see the most miraculous changes with Uranus. And just, it's going to be there about 6.5 more years, and since it entered 1.5 years ago, global warming's huge. We've seen all these changes with cryptocurrency, green diets, all that stuff, okay? So, stay tuned, guys. I love you. Thank you for listening in. Follow me on Instagram. I'll add all my tags on here. I love you guys.